Do you have to practice guitar every single day to get better? No. I'm John, I'm 59 years old, and I'm a 4-chord strummer. I started learning how to play guitar about 5 years ago when I was 54, and in all of that time, I've never treated guitar like a job where I have to clock in every single day. I've had some busy weeks where I've missed days. I've had days when I picked up the guitar for only like 5 minutes. I'm still here, still learning, and I still love playing this instrument. So today I want to talk about whether you can actually learn guitar without practicing every day. And I think we all know the answer is a resounding yes, we can. But there's an important difference between not practicing every day and not practicing consistently at all. When people talk about learning guitar, you hear stuff like, well, you got to practice every day or never miss a day. Well, I just said that, right? Every day. Or you got to practice for an hour. And yeah, that works for some people. But I think that advice can make guitar feel like another obligation. And if you're like me, you've got enough obligations on your plate. Work, family, appointments, and there's always something to do around the house. And if you're learning guitar later in life, you probably don't want another activity that makes you feel guilty. You know what I mean? So, I think there's a difference between daily practice and returning to the guitar regularly. Daily means what? Daily. You play every single day, all right? Consistency means that when you get busy or you miss a few days, you come back. That's the part that matters the most. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to keep returning. So the first thing I would recommend is that you make your guitar easy to pick up. If your guitar is buried in a case in a closet behind 3 boxes and underneath a winter coat, well, that might create a little bit of a problem for you. By the time you get to it, you're checked out. Your enthusiasm's gone, you've lost your motivation, and you just realize you better clean up that closet. So, make it convenient for yourself. Keep it somewhere where you can see it. Keep your music nearby. Keep your capo, tuner, your picks, everything ready. Basically, remove any obstacle, as many little obstacles as you can. Sometimes the hardest or the most difficult part is not actually playing guitar. It's getting to it, getting started. I'm not saying that you gotta, your guitar's got to be the centerpiece of your living room or your kitchen. I know that would not fly around here in this house. I couldn't do that. That might not. It might work for you. It won't work for me. What I'm saying though is just that the easier it is to begin, the more likely you are to begin, and that might mean keeping the guitar on a stand. Might mean keeping a few songs nearby. Might mean having a chair practice area where you usually play. It's just the little things like that can make a difference. All right, so the second thing that I would do is I would use songs as your practice. I don't usually begin with a long list of exercises and think to myself, okay, all right, I'm going to work through all of these today. I'm more likely to find a song that I'd like to try. So something might pop up in my head and I'll be like, oh, I'll look this up on Ultimate Guitar and see if I can play it. And sometimes I won't be able to, but sometimes I'll be able to simplify it, or it's more manageable than I expected, and I could simplify it by using a capo or leaving out a difficult chord. Maybe I could only play just part of the song. It still gives me something to work on, if you know what I mean. For me, that's more motivating than practicing something just because I was told I'm supposed to practice it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that exercises have no value. They are useful, they have a purpose, but if that's all you do, then guitar can start to feel like homework to you. And I don't know about you, but homework was not fun for me. If you're playing a song you actually want to hear, it's easier to stay interested. And after all, what's the point of learning guitar if you never get to enjoy making music? All right, the third thing I do is kind of, you got to tell yourself this. You can't, you got to stop thinking that practice only counts if you spend an hour at it. If you have the time to play for an hour and you want to play, go ahead. I mean, that's great, yeah. But you might only have 15 minutes. Understand, that can still be useful. You could spend 5 minutes on chord changes. You could work on a strumming pattern. You could play through one verse of a song. Tune up your guitar and just play for a few minutes just to get your hands moving, you know? You don't have to complete an entire practice program every time you pick up the guitar. Sometimes you just need one of those small wins, you know, that you felt like you did something. And this is especially important if you're older and you've got other things going on. You may not have the same schedule you had when you were 20. You may not have the same energy every day. That doesn't mean you can't learn. It just means that your practice has to fit your life. And a short session that you actually do is more valuable than a perfect 1 hour session you keep postponing. Huh? How'd you like that? Uh-huh. All right. The fourth thing. You know the R in my middle initial is R. Today it stands for redundant. Repeat. All right. The fourth thing is not turning missed days into failure. Okay. This may be the most important part. You miss a day. Then you tell yourself you're falling behind. Then you miss another day. Now you feel guilty. Then the guitar starts reminding you of something you're not doing. And suddenly you're avoiding it. And that can happen with almost anything. So if you miss a day, just miss a day. Okay? If you miss a day, just miss a day. Don't turn it into a story about your character. Don't say things like, oh, I'm lazy, or I'll never learn, or I've ruined everything. You haven't ruined anything. You just didn't play guitar that day. That's it. Okay? Don't feel bad. Just pick it up again when you can. For me, I've never had a moment or a thought, well, that's it, I'm selling my guitar, it's over. No, but I have had busy days. I've had times where the guitar, believe it or not, was not the first thing on my mind. My wife might tell you different, that I was consumed with it. But no, not all the time. I'm not always consumed with it. But that's okay. I kind of have to tell myself that sometimes. I used to feel guilty of that, but I just like, okay, it's okay, John. You miss a day, you missed a couple of days, you'll get back to it, okay? The guitar is supposed to add something good to your life. It's not supposed to become another reason to criticize yourself. All right, the fifth thing is to keep a reason to come back, okay? Maybe there's a song that you want to learn. Maybe you want to play in front of your family someday. Maybe you like the way an acoustic guitar sounds in the room. Or maybe you just like you heard a chord progression and you were wondering if you can figure it out. Or maybe you just like having a hobby that belongs to you. The point is, the reason does not have to sound impressive. We're not trying to impress anybody, okay? You don't need to become a professional musician. You don't need to play complicated solos. You don't need to prove anything to anybody. You can simply enjoy learning one more song than you knew last month. You can play the same song for a year if you enjoy playing it. I do. Still counts. If you're starting guitar later in 50s, 60s, or older, you're not late, okay? You might have a different schedule. You may learn differently, and you may have to, or you probably will have to, be patient with your hands and your memory. But you can still make progress, and you can still have fun. All right, all that said, do you have to practice guitar every day to get better? No, you don't. But I would not interpret that as I never have to pick up the guitar. You do have to come back to it. You do have to spend some quality time with it, and you do have to give yourself opportunities to improve. But that might happen 3 days a week. It might happen 5 times a week. It might happen in short sessions. It might change from one week to the next. The goal is not to create a perfect practice streak. The goal is to build a relationship with the instrument that you can maintain. And if you're learning guitar later in life, I think that is a much healthier way to look at it. All right, so how do you like this honest later in life guitar chat that we're having here, journey? I'm not going to tell you got to subscribe to my channel. I mean, you know you can if you want. It's there, so I'm not even going to mention it. That didn't make sense. All right. Anyway, let me know in the comments, what your practice schedule looks like. Do you practice every day? Do you practice a few times a week? Do you practice guitar whenever you can? What works for you? And I'm sure you've heard this before, but if I can do it, you can do it too. I'm John, 59 years old, and I'm a 4-chord strummer. Thanks for watching. Bye.